telling you, you can't keep putting 50% of your portfolio in Dogecoin. Keep telling you that.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen.
Never listen.
Welcome to another episode of aMillionortheMoon. We have a very important update for you guys. Ethereum is forming a wedge pattern, breaking out bullishly, testing previous resistance and near all-time highs. So folks, stay tuned in this video. We're going to break down what we see happening, both short-term and long-term, talk about some potential price targets here, and mention some important nuances and caveats. So we have Mess in here to help break down what's going on. The Peanut Gallery. What's up, man?
Peanut Gallery?
Yeah, Peanut Gallery. It's like when someone just comments from the side.
Right. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No, Ethereum is doing great. Yesterday was actually pretty good. Overall, we had Ethereum yesterday had some nice, it's a very nice bullish candle. We went from all the way to 2,324 all the way up to the 2,540, which is pretty significant. And, you know, people might not notice it, but yesterday we closed at the 2,533, which is actually a higher high or a higher closing price. It was the highest closing price that Ethereum had compared to this even on the April 15th, where we closed on 2,517. So I think that's just showing that interest in the market right now. We're getting a lot of improvements with the layer 2, aggregate, with the integration with Polygon and all that. So a lot of user base is getting or flooding back and there is just making things easier. So I think that interest in the market right now is definitely going up.
Yeah, and look, that's a very good point. So we've had the highest daily candle close, not a new all-time high, but yesterday we had the highest daily candle close. So that's quite a big deal. And you're right, there is a lot of strength building up with Ethereum. One way we can tell is by taking a look at Ethereum dominance. So just like how there's Bitcoin dominance, there's also Ethereum dominance, where Ethereum dominance, for those who don't know, is the total value of Ethereum in comparison to total value of all cryptocurrency. And we can see here that pretty much since February 2020, we've been steadily making higher highs and higher lows all the way around with Ethereum dominance. Ethereum is steadily, slowly gaining dominance and strength over time. So it makes sense that Ethereum is continuing to break up bullishly. Even just to put it this way, Bitcoin's previous all-time highs was just about, just under 20,000. It reached over 60,000. Ethereum's previous cycle's all-time highs was around 1,400, and it's hardly done a 1x since then. So I think Ethereum is still very undervalued, and I think it's long overdue. I think it's long overdue that Ethereum makes a stupid move to the upside.
Definitely. I think right now, everybody's been waiting for the past couple of weeks to see more and more movements. Obviously, it's extreme volatility. There's a lot of weak hands and there's a lot of strong hands. But in terms of the movements that Ethereum was doing this whole time, if we zoom out a bit, it's not really that crazy in terms of the whole market was obviously moving and a lot of panic, a lot of fear in the market. And, we were having some retracement back to 21%. So it wasn't that crazy how Ethereum was retracing or correcting. We're still stuck in that range, and any signs of, that's what I think was happening right now, any sign of a positive sentiment in the market, any sign of, we're done retracing, we could be going up, Ethereum is already trying to close above previous closing prices and keeps pushing upwards. So it just looks pretty good. And overall, you're right with Ethereum dominance. Yesterday as well, we'll zoom in later here to lower time frames, but we've been stuck in this kind of micro wedge on the daily chart. And yesterday we were supposed to actually get rejected somewhere here and continue to retrace back down and see what happens. But you'll see here we have the volume, and I hate when these show up. I'll just move it to the side. This is the average volume, the moving average for the volume itself. And yesterday at the breakout, we had a nice breakout, very long bodied candle, complete dominance by the buyers, and we had a nice volume uptick above your average. So it's looking pretty good so far from a technical standpoint, and fundamentally we're having a lot of optimistic catalysts and positive catalysts in the market. And I think this is just the beginning right now. I think we're heading somewhere where Ethereum is going to start picking up and actually push way past 2,600 or 700 that we had.
I think so. Do you want to tell them potential bullish price targets based off the wedge here? And
No.
no, okay, that's fine. I'll tell them. So, folks, look, something we do when we're trying to gauge price targets from either wedges, triangles. We take the height of the wedge, height of the triangle, move it to the breakout point, and that's typically the length that we can move. That would bring us to just over $2,900. Now, something else that I have been using to call Ethereum is this Fibonacci extension. So I called back in late March. I said I think we could see a $2,600 Ethereum in late April. And specifically, I said April 23rd. So I was actually off by 1 day. April 22nd, we had a $2,600 Ethereum. So one of the reasons how that I gauged that was based off this Fibonacci extension. And so I think this Fibonacci extension has been pretty valid. And our next fib level is right at $3,200. So I think kind of in terms of like a short-term impulse, $2,900 makes some sense. I think kind of maybe over the next mid to long term, next few weeks, next month or two, maybe we see a $3,200 Ethereum. So those are kind of like the optimistic price targets. Again, folks, none of this is a guarantee. Bitcoin could tank tomorrow and take the rest of the market with it. So take everything we say with a grain of salt.
Definitely. I think that's the main thing that we've been really trying to focus and emphasize on most of these videos is that, look, when Bitcoin is going up, it's good for the market. These coins start to move in a more technical way. We start with those profit targets or those support lines start to be that, like that's the critical point for that coin. But when it comes to Bitcoin actually moving down or dumping, you're gonna have a lot of this right here just completely be disregarded. All these support lines, all those Fibonacci levels, the patterns we have would be disregarded by the market because everybody's just anticipating, hey, Bitcoin is going down, so we're just going to go down. So you start having a more catalyzed movement to the bottom. So right now, Bitcoin dominance is somewhere close to the 50 region. So it still has a lot of influence on this, but that's what we're saying. You're right. As soon as this video is done, doesn't mean that Ethereum is going to go up to the 3,200. So you just need to keep in mind, take this with a grain of salt. Do your own research and understand what you're putting your money in. And I said in the previous video today as well, I'm like, they want some sort of risk management tips that we usually take. You don't have to always take those losses. You don't have to always take that 10, 15, 20 or 30% loss. You can enter, even if you're a long-term holder, you can enter in a way where you're dollar cost averaging. And basically, you can have certain stop losses at areas where you're guaranteed to where you're understanding that, hey, look, if it goes down 20%, I want to be out of the market. And you just go from there. So there's a lot of risk management to it. And I think we should start focusing on that more here. So if you would want any tips like that on how we manage this risk and this volatility that's happening in the market, definitely let us know in the comment section below.
Yeah, my risk management is just hodling, to be honest. But then again,
clearly.
Yeah. But look, folks, I have a high risk tolerance. You may not. I'm willing to hold for months and years. You may not. So, you just got to come up with, at the end of the day, your own plan, your own strategy. And hopefully you learn a thing or two off us. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to come up with a strategy that makes sense for yourself. So I also just kind of want to mention two very important potential support levels for Ethereum, that being the 21 EMA on the 6 hour here, this kind of blue line. We can see how whenever price is below it, it acts as resistance in the short term. And whenever price gets above it, it acts as support kind of in the short term. So it's a nice support / resistance zone for the short term. The 21 EMA on the 6 hours currently below price action, which is good because that means it will hold or act as at the very least temporary support, and right at the breakout zone from this wedge. Good to see as well. Another macro support level for kind of larger time frame stuff is the 200 EMA on the 10 hour here. I just want to double check. Yes, it is on the 10 hour. We can see how here it held as support and here it held as support as well. So this is kind of a very reactive exponential moving average. So I think these are kind of some of the two most important support levels for Ethereum.
So looking at Bitcoin here, just to give you that idea of what could happen and how it can reflect on Ethereum's price action. Yesterday, Bitcoin was actually closing above the 55 EMA, was attempting to. We actually closed right below it, and this is the actual line we're looking at right here. So I'll just zoom in a bit. Yeah, so we got rejected fully off of it. It was basically the place where we tried to find the support below. It didn't work. As soon as we closed below it, boom, Bitcoin continued to retrace back down to those lower levels. Yesterday, we pushed back up. It didn't work, but it's telling you that, you know, we at least had that steam to push all the way above it. We kind of retraced back, but this still looks good, showing you the interest in the market. And right now, Bitcoin is trying to continue to close above it. So if we don't close above it or we get rejected, expect also Ethereum to actually have some sort of retracement back. So that's what we're saying here with those videos. Always take a look at Bitcoin. It's one of the most important data points when we're looking at Ethereum's price action. And you know, if we look back here at Ethereum again, we'll see that we're somewhere there trying to push back up. So definitely whatever happens with Bitcoin will affect this chart.
No, 100%. And yeah, look, folks, ultimately just stay tuned to this channel, because if anything changes with the price structure with Ethereum and Bitcoin, I will definitely be talking about it here and letting you guys know what the most important technical analysis is with kind of the state of the market. So yeah, no, that's kind of all my thoughts with Ethereum. I don't know if you got any kind of last thoughts here.
No, that's pretty much it. If you like the analysis or you agree or disagree with it, please let us know in the comment section below. If you like the video, like it, subscribe to the channel, join our VIP Discord. You'll get this news a lot quicker, definitely. And yeah, no, that's pretty much it for me.
So before we wrap up, I'd also like to mention the channel sponsor, Atani. So if you're anything like me, you probably have a bunch of different exchanges that you have to constantly log in and out of if you want to do your, your trading stuff. Folks, Atani is basically an all-in-one, one-stop shop for your exchanges. You connect all your exchanges through Atani, and you can trade, buy and sell through Atani. They're a channel sponsor. We highly recommend you check them out. Link for everything is down in the description below. They also have very helpful, kind of tax resources. So if you want to make your life easier by connecting all your exchanges through one dashboard, check out Atani. Link for that is down in the description below. That's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, folks. Take care.